We are backstage at Lasso 2023 with Brothers Osborne. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're doing pretty good. Yeah. It's nice.
Good
I feel
to
good.
see you guys.
It's good to see you
too.
as well.
First time in Montreal.
This is. You know,
Yes.
we were thinking about it because sometimes, we travel so much and we think we haven't been places, and then we get there and there's some things that are familiar, but this is totally foreign in the best way. And it's like one of the coolest things, that we get to do. We get to check things off the box, which is kind of like, kind of a bummer at times when you start running out of places to go you haven't been. So it's nice to be somewhere fresh, and everyone's been friendly. Maybe they're being mean, and I just don't understand what they're saying. But it seems to be nice.
But you guys are working on your French. You're gonna plan on dropping some French on the fans tonight.
Yeah, on y va.
See?
I don't know what it means, but I'm about to say it on stage.
Really hoping that our camera guys are not lying to you and telling you what to say.
We'll double check. Trust me, we'll double check.
I can't even tell you whether or not that's right, but it sounds good. It sounds really good.
Allons-y. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, we got it.
Got it.
And is it fun for you guys, just even in your career so far, you guys have done a lot of really cool stuff, but to know that, you're coming to a new place at this point in your career to play music for fans, and, I don't know if you know this, but I think there's a lot of people that are very excited to see you here in Montreal.
It's always shocking, honestly. I mean, even if we go to places where we've been before and people still show up, I'm like, all right, they still like us. But to come to a place that we've never been, that we've wanted to come to for so long, the fact that anyone turns up is always a surprise. And honestly, we haven't even seen the stage today. I can hear it, but I like not seeing it. I want to walk out there and be like, oh my goodness.
It's going to be fun. They're very big stages. I've never seen.
Yeah,
we've heard.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, I'm get my 1,000 steps in.
Yeah, you guys will be. You'll be get your workout in by the end of the day. What is it about getting to do this with your brother that makes it maybe a little bit sweeter or maybe more difficult at times?
You certainly have the family dynamic.
Yeah.
It's always the thing. We're just kind of the sibling stuff, But I think honestly we managed that pretty well. But I think on the other side, it's just really cool to experience it together. I think we've all probably had moments in our lives where we've either seen something and we just wish someone was there to experience it with you, or and I think having all of these achievements and having someone to share it with makes it way more special to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And same. There is definitely an unspoken thing that we have. We have our own language. We'll go, hey, you want to, you good? Okay, all right, we'll do that. And the whole band's like, what the hell are they talking about?
And there is, and our camaraderie on stage is that way. I think there's just things we don't hardly even need to look at each other. We just kind of instinctively know what's going to happen, how we're going to change something, or how this is going to flow, just because we've been around each other our whole life.
Exactly. I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah. I telepathically, he told me he was going to say it before he did. But it's also got to be helpful too, because something that I talk a lot about in my show is mental health, and that this industry is very tough sometimes, and every part of life can be, but I think it's got to be really helpful, because having a support system is huge, but having that support system on stage with you and at shows being actually your family.
Well, it's it's very hard. I mean, we're big dudes. There's two of us. We can show up and we can conquer, but it is very, very, very hard. And then I look at people that are doing it by themselves. I look at especially females. They have it way harder because the standards are so much higher. We can roll out of bed and we walk on stage and they're like, oh, they're so rock and roll. They don't even care. But a girl, it's like if she did that, she would get bad remarks. So she has to look good and do all this stuff. And she's on her own. So in a way, we have it so much easier. I feel grateful that we're able to do it together.
You guys do look so rock and roll, though. I feel like you didn't just roll out of bed. You don't shower.
Yeah, he just puts the hat on.
The hat on. I mean, the hat really is a great trick to just you're ready.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good to go. How has it been? Because I think the last time we spoke in person was 2020, before all the craziness happened. But since then, I became a new mom. My son is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
my son's
awesome.
almost 3, which blows my mind when I say that. But you are also new dad.
Yeah, new dad.
But to 2 children.
To 2. Arthur and Maybell, they'll turn 5 months in 2 days on the 21st. And it's the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. It's the most exhausting thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And I have it way easier because we come out on the road and I can sleep, and my wife is just super mom. She is up all night with them and killing it. And I talked to her in the morning. I'm like, I slept terrible. I only got 9 hours of sleep. She's like, I got 4. And I'm like, and she sounds amazing.
She's rocking the day, and you're like, I'm so tired.
She's way better than me.
That's. I mean, moms have they have superpowers.
Yeah, you have another gear that most men don't have.
Yeah.
Has it been fun for you though, experiencing uncle life and getting
we both have been uncles for a large part of our life. We have our oldest brother and sister are about 10 years older than us, 10 years older than us, and so but there's been a long gap since there's been any new babies. In fact, they've had babies. We've got great nephews.
No way.
Which is crazy. That makes me feel really old. I did not want to
wild.
say that publicly, but I am.
Well, our family is also very fertile. So.
Exactly.
Everything works really well.
Yeah.
And so, now having a new fresh set of babies, it's fun. It's exciting, and the whole family is just over the moon.
Are you going to bring them out on the road at some point?
Yeah, we eventually will.
Okay.
I mean, we share a bus, so I have to. I don't know, TJ, are we? I know we will eventually. I want to wait till they hit 6 months, because a lot of things are less left up to chance if we do it that way.
Yeah.
And we just hired a nanny, which has been very helpful. So we'll try to make it as streamlined as possible. The good news is, they do sleep well, and especially in a moving automobile.
That's awesome.
So they'll be great.
That will be great.
Yeah.
You won't even know they're there.
No.
I mean, honestly, when you go down the road, the bus is pretty noisy anyway.
Yeah.
So I just I would not hear them.
That will be really fun.
Exactly.
And so, new music. Do you feel like? Because I think a lot of really big things have happened for you guys lately. Like, we haven't even talked since the article that you released. Was that 2 years? That was in
February of 2021. I think.
Yes. Yeah. And so I haven't gotten to talk to you about that, but it's been so cool just to see the massive support that you've had since that article came out. Has that really made a change in your music when you guys go into the studio? Do you feel like you have more stories
we've been talking about that a little bit because we've got a new record coming out here next month. Is it next month?
On the 15th.
Good Lord, yeah.
Woohoo.
So very soon.
Yeah.
But it's been years since we've released music, and haven't released music since I have come out. So, the record itself doesn't specifically talk about any of those things, but I think being creative, the worst thing for creativity is ever having to try to filter anything out, which I always just kind of unconsciously did all the time.
Yeah.
And so being able to write without having to think of how to steer a song this way or not say this one thing was just very freeing. And so I feel like overall, even though even at times when the subject matter wasn't about that, I think just the sense of freedom and creation definitely had a huge impact on the result that I think is in my opinion the best that we've been able to create, at least for myself, because of that. And so we'll see. In a month we'll have that out. We'll play some new songs here tonight, and
sweet.
It's been
That's awesome.
It's been good.
I'm so happy for you because I feel like that takes you into a whole new season of life when you are like just being authentically yourself. And
it is. And I think the one thing that's weird is for most of my life I have been myself. I've just like not expressed or showed people 20% of it or whatever, a third of my life. I didn't realize how much of it really is something that I identify with, and I think I minimized it a lot to feel better about it, but not having that weight anymore, and having that sense of freedom, and by and large, it's like we've had a lot of support. There's also been people that hate, but you just have that anyways when you are in the public eye at all. There's just a target on your back anyway, and
for sure,
so
doesn't matter what you do.
Easy one, but I don't. I think more than anything, just obviously there's a sense of pride of who I am, but I'm proud to be able to be in the position that we're in, and be able to represent those people that feel like maybe they don't have a place here because they do, and we try to prove that time and time again. And that's not even to say you have to be queer to feel that way. I mean, I think just being different than what most people would, the stereotype of what even outsiders would think of country music fans, one, is mostly incorrect anyway, but two, just feeling like this is a place for everyone, and we've definitely seen that in the past couple of years. It's just people letting their freak flag fly, whatever that is, and just feeling like they don't have to be anything but themselves. It's really, really
so
beautiful.
Special. Yeah, because I think it's really, I love the change that I'm seeing in the country music world, where there's still a lot of change to be made in certain areas, but where more people are just feeling comfortable being themselves and not feeling like they have to fit into a lane or a
and I think there's
pigeonhole.
some for everyone. There's some people that aren't going to like me for probably a lot of reasons. That being one, my sexuality, and that's okay. I don't. I think it's ridiculous that you think that way, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that.
No.
I can't change the way that they think, and all I can do is just do what I can do and play for the people that are going to support and love us and feel that you have that common ground. And there's plenty of other artists out there for people that don't like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I think Nobody's Nobody, which we play a lot of on Pure Country, I will say.
Well,
we are
great.
playing it all the time. I think that your music, I've listened to you guys forever. I've always been a fan of your music.
Thank you.
But I feel like this new era is like a time that I hear a lot of just uplifting and inspiring and really speaking to everybody in the country music community. Is that what this new record is going to kind of
it is. We're from a very interesting place in the States. We're from Maryland, and the people that are from New York think we're from the South. People from Tennessee think we're from the North. So like this weird, we straddle this line of, the people from Maryland don't care. We just kind of do our thing. But as we evolve, we are different. We do sound different. We're different people. We're from a different part of the world, and that is just who we are. And we're from a very conservative town, but we're progressive people. We have a lot of conservative family that we would step in front of a moving bus for because we love them to death. So we bridge the divide, and we would love our music to do that as well. There are some people out there that are putting out music that is quite divisive. However, I firmly believe that music can actually bring us all together, and that's what we're trying to do.
And that's what we want when we go to a music festival. That's like we can all stand there and we have one thing in common. We're so excited to see who's on stage.
Yeah, you're all looking in the same direction.
Yes, exactly.
It's a strange thing when you think about it.
We are. Okay, last thing before we go, because I'm really interested to hear this, because I always love when you guys share online like new artists that you're loving or who you're a big fan of. So who, for each of you, is a new artist that you think is just killing it right now?
These are the things that when people ask me, I can't think about it.
Well,
but when
also,
I'm like,
if people ask us sometimes, like play your music, I'm like, I can't think of a single song that we have. It's the weirdest. A lot of times we make a set list, not to get to order, just so I can remember the songs that we have to sing.
Whenever you're put on the spot, your brain just shuts off.
So there's a friend of ours named Eric Stunstreet who played Cam in Modern Family, and he's a huge country music fan. And we were hanging out with him just recently in Kansas City, and he told us about Charles Wesley Godwin, and we were in his truck, and he's like, listen to this guy. And at first I was like, okay, when people tell you that aren't in music to listen to something, you're kind of like, how's this going to go? But it was awesome. We drove around for quite a while listening to it, and I thought it was amazing. And I've been seeing his name pop up more and more. But I definitely I have high hopes for him. I think it's going to be a bright future.
Big fan of him too.
Oh yeah. Right. For me, we've had this girl out with us a few times. Her name is Ashland Kraft.
Oh, she's awesome.
I think she hasn't quite cracked the nut yet, but I think when she does, it's going to be huge.
She's great.
She sings her ass off. She writes her ass off. She grew up singing in bars. You could tell she's legit, and I love everything that she does.
Yeah, she's awesome. We
had an artist playing with us even just last night, and Meg McCree. Yeah. Okay. She's very new and up and coming, but she's awesome. Check her out.
Yeah. Sweet. And stay tuned for more new music from you guys coming out soon.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want it or not?
Yes. You're going to love it. All right. Love to see you guys always. It's Brothers Osborne on Pure Country.